I've been told free agency is right around the corner. So, who are some free agents that Zach and I think the Avalanche should target? Let's talk about them on a new episode of Locked On Avalanche.
Your Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Maccelli. Joining me, as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. On today's episode, not only will we look at some possible free agents that the Avalanche could target, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about some star players on the move. That was at the beginning of all of this craziness that's been the offseason already. It's continued. And there's more players kind of added to that list. So we haven't talked about them in a while. And with free agency upon us pretty soon, some of those players could get moved Tuesday. So we'll talk about them and where we think they could potentially go. That'll be later on. But we'll start with Avalanche stuff, of course. And I always love this time of the year because everybody has their favorites when it comes to free agents. Of either they like the player or they think it's a good fit for their team. And if, I would like to see my team go after this guy. And if you throw out a player that they don't like, that's the worst possible scenario for my team. Why would they ever go? I love it. Like everybody is kind of like dug into, I like this guy and I don't like that guy and only go after my guy and do not go after that guy, which is it's just craziness in the world of fandom right now when it comes to free agency and the insiders as well. Like if you follow them on socials, it is just post after post of like, I'm hearing this guy could go here, but he also could go here, but he also could go here. It's like the Always Sunny map just all over the place. So it makes it fun. We're going to throw out some names. And take it for what it's worth. Like, could the Avalanche target these guys? Sure. Could they not? Absolutely. But yes. They're possibles. They're possibilities.
But my name specifically, just remember, there's a reason I am not in the pro scouting department of the Colorado Avalanche because I have no idea who they really are going to want to target. And
the thing is, man, like, I don't think anybody knows.
Nope. Really outside of the organization. And that's probably how it should be. So This is going to be fun. This was fun to look through and kind of see.
They're educated guesses.
I wouldn't mind seeing. Yep.
Right. And, if they pick one of these guys, we look like geniuses. If they don't, we're two dudes hosting a podcast. So.
And I look exactly the same as I did anyway. Yep.
Right. So we are going to focus on forwards, though, because defensemen, even though they could very well sign a few defensemen, they're kind of set on the defensive side of things. So they do need to maybe plug a few holes in the forward position. So that's kind of what we focused on here. So we have 6 different guys. So why don't you can get the party started, throw out somebody and talk about them.
Okay. I'm going to go with one that would be a relatively familiar name right here in Colorado, and that would be Alexander Kerfoot, because I mean, 31-year center. He's smart. He plays really well with the puck. He can be a solid offensive threat. I really do like the game that he plays, and I thought he did okay with the Avs. I don't think he's quite as fast as they probably want, but I think at 31, with the knowledge there, he can do well on faceoffs if you need him to. And if you can get him on a 1 year, 3-ish, then I don't know if he'll go for 1 year, but at 31, he might go for 1 year. So
you never know.
That'd be a name I would not mind seeing come back to Colorado.
I wouldn't either. He's kind of like that Swiss Army knife type of guy.
Yeah.
Can do a lot. On The Athletic, they have his projection at 3 years, $3.36 million. And I think for the Avalanche, I think pretty much everything that they need right now probably is in that bottom 6. I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh, with Val gone, you need to find his replacement. Sure, I'm not against that. If you don't, I mean, we've kind of talked about it where you could move up Nazem Kadri, and that could be your second line guy. I think people would be fine with that. Yeah. So they are kind of in flux with what they want to do with that money. Obviously, if you're going to go bigger and fill that role from Val, you're going to have to pony up some more money, which obviously cuts into your cap, which pretty much leaves you with next to nothing if you were to do that. So something like Kerfoot, I would not be totally against. And I think we're kind of in the same world of most of the guys that we talk about.
I was very budget friendly when I was looking at available free agents.
Yes. Yep. So the name that I have here, I wouldn't have had 24 hours ago because he's on Toronto, but Toronto did not offer him a qualifying offer, which makes him an unrestricted free agent. And that's Matias Maccelli. If you've listened to this show in the past, it's twofold. It's because his last name is awesome. And it's
a good last name.
And it's the Italian way to say my last name, even though he's not Italian. And I think he would work. I've always liked his game. I think it would be a good, solid depth role for him. He wouldn't have to do too much. I feel like he played well when he was in Arizona / Utah, although the 1 year in Utah wasn't all that great. And then he was traded over to Toronto, had moments there, but also was healthy scratched a lot of times. And his name was getting thrown around at the trade deadline. He's just been always one of those guys that is not on the Avalanche, but I always just keep an eye on. And yes, while he's not done exceptionally well, he's had those glimpses and those moments. And if the Avalanche have shown us anything this offseason, it's going after guys like that maybe they can inherit and say, under our system, you'll be more of a sound player. And I think he could be that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll cost you a ton of money. I don't have a projection on him because, like I said, this just happened. But I don't think he would be. I think he would kind of be in like what you're talking about with Kerfoot. Maybe
what was his last contract.
I want to say it was like in the 3.5 range.
So yeah, I mean that would be about where you're looking for.
I think so.
High end, I think, of probably what they're looking for, but around that, yeah.
Yep. So wouldn't mind that pick coming over or that signing coming over, and I would immediately buy the jersey.
Oh yeah, that moment, the instant he has a number set, that order is in at the NHL shop.
100%. Yep. So, all right, go ahead. What else you got?
Second one that I pulled was another 31-year-old. This one from Vancouver, and I'm going Teddy Blueger for the next one. Again, budget friendly. I really think so. As the Athletic said, and I think this fits really well, he was a bright spot in a dreary season, and I think that's pretty accurate. He's going to be a depth guy. He's going to be that secondary scoring, which we know the Avs want and need to have. And they had a good amount of it last season, but you don't want to let that dry up. I think he can provide a lot of that for you. And being a more defensive-minded guy as one of your forwards, not necessarily a bad thing because you have a lot of high-end offensive talent. And sometimes it's nice to have some guys that are a little more what's the word? Defensive-minded, I guess, is the best way to put it. But, I mean, 17 points in 35 games last year, not too bad. 1631 average time on ice is what I see there. So if he can stay healthy, give you that, and you can get him for cheap, the Athletics got him projected under $3 million at 2.7 for 3 years. But again, like wiggle room in there, right? So.
I liked him. He was another guy getting thrown around at the trade deadline last year.
Yeah.
And a guy would not have mind if the Avs took a shot on him at the trade deadline last year. Obviously, they did not. I don't know. Like, I haven't heard any connection between the two of them. I don't know. I think it would be good. He is like he's pretty fast. Like he can skate. He can keep up. And defensive minded, would not mind that.
No.
Another one I would not mind. So
not at all.
We'll see.
I think he could be a solid depth center for you.
Definitely. I think, and again, that's I think where the Avs are kind of living right now is in that world.
Especially trying to replace Drury. I mean, I'm not saying that he
Mhm.
would slot in and replace that because he just won't.
Right.
But it'd be nice to have somebody else that could.
Yep. Agreed. Next guy for me, I mentioned him a couple days ago, and that's Jack Roslovic. It's one of those confusing things to me last year why he never got signed. I mean, he got signed, if I'm not mistaken, the season had started. I think it was like a game or two into the season, and then he finally signed with Edmonton. If it wasn't a game or two into the season, it was like a day or two before the season started. It was very weird to me why this guy was not getting a contract, and he played very well with Carolina. So Edmonton signs him, has a pretty decent season with Edmonton, enough, and they only signed him to a 1-year deal. And I think, he did more than enough to now ask for a little bit more term. I don't think he's going to go anywhere that's going to give him another 1-year deal. Let's see. I got him. So the Athletics got him at 3 years, $4.696 million. So basically $4.7 million. That's the high end for kind of what we're talking about here. It's still less than what Nichushkin made.
Yep.
I don't know. I like the guy. I think he could be, he's a good skater. Has offensive touch. It's like, what's not to like? And why did it take so long for this guy to get a contract? And maybe that changes this year with a weak free agency pool. Maybe he's one of the earlier ones to go and someone scoops him up. I wouldn't mind if it's the Avs.
Yeah, I could see that. That would be a great fit if they can make that one. If he'd be interested in coming here. Do you want to go? They said 3 years at 4.7. 3 years might be. You could maybe work that.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably find a way to make that happen. So,
So he played 69 games for Edmonton last year. So he either started later than I thought or missed some games due to injury. It could be either one of those two things. But 21 goals, 15 assists. I like him.
Could fit.
All right. Why don't we get a break in? We come back. We got is this like your top guy? We didn't really rank these in like 1, 2, or 3 or anything like that. But did you save your best for last or no?
I did not. I saved this guy for last for a specific reason, but not because he's probably my favorite target.
All right. Well, then let's get our break in, and then we'll come up with our top guys, favorite guys. I don't know however you want to word it.
Yeah.
Word it however you want. We got one more each. We'll do it next. All right, let's hear from Decagon. As companies grow, customer support gets a lot more complicated. More customers means more questions, more channels to manage, and higher expectations for fast, personalized service. That's usually when businesses start looking towards AI, but most solutions either feel too generic or take forever to implement, and that's where Decagon comes in. Decagon helps companies create personalized concierge-style customer experiences with AI agents across chat, email, voice, and SMS. Their agents are available 24/7, feel natural to talk to, and can resolve customer requests on their own, helping businesses scale support without losing that personal touch. The best customer experiences don't happen by accident, whether it's in business or sports. People remember organizations that respond quickly, understand context, and make every interaction feel personal. So if you're ready to transform your customer support, go to decagon.ai/lockedonnhl to get a personalized demo and see what Decagon can do for your team. That website again is decagon.ai/lockedonnhl. All right, join our Everydayer Club. The link is in the show notes below, or go to lockedonavalanche.supercast.com right now to sign up, because when you do, you just have a ton of fun.
Yes,
if only for the Discord chat, which you get access to. We have our rules that we've we're kind of coming up with our commandments in the Discord chat. And if you notice that thing, like different things that you have to abide by if you're in the Discord chat. They're fun.
A newcomer rule.
Yes, exactly.
Newcomer get started guide. We'll go with
that. Just make sure you have coffee mugs if you join the Discord chat. Discord knows what I'm talking about. So you get access to that. You get access to the subtext crew, ad-free versions of Locked On Avalanche, exclusive content that we post throughout the week. So join today. You get a first week for free. So lockedonavalanche.supercast.com, or the link is in the show notes below. Go sign up for that today. Would be greatly appreciated. Okay. We got one more player each that the Avalanche maybe could target, maybe could not. We'll see. Who do you got?
So I'm going very budget minded, but I have a sneaky suspicion. When this guy is on the ice with the Colorado Avalanche, he seems to score just all the time. Unfortunately, it's always been against the Avalanche. So last year, 66 games played, 6 goals, 11 points. And if you told me that all 11 of those points were against the Avs, I would believe you. So I'm saying Colton Sissons as a budget guy to bring in who can give you solid defensive work, solid face-off work, play on your depth, play that fourth line, and maybe help out when needed. I think that's a guy who could potentially fit in and do that for you. The added benefit of he won't score against us.
That's true. That is true. Who's another guy that always scores against us all the time? I'm trying to think of. I mean, it seems like Jamie Benn does all the time.
Yeah, he does.
They're not going after him, obviously, but you're right. Sissons just has that whatever it factor is when he's playing Colorado. And he seems to find a way to score. Yep. Forsberg, Philip Forsberg does a lot too.
He does too. Yeah.
Not that fair. We're going to go after him, but he seems to score on the Avalanche all the time too. But it's weird that we're talking about Colton Sissons in the same breath as Philip Forsberg, as they just always seem to score against the Avalanche.
Yep.
You know, two completely different players, but when they play the Avs, they seem to be of sound mind.
They really do.
Well.
But I mean, he does have a couple. He's got good playoff experience. 32. The Athletic projects him at 1.5 AAV for 2 years. I mean, if you can get just solid depth piece that handles everything that he needs to, and again, defensive reliability, which does seem to be the theme of my my picks today. So
6'1", I just looked up his metrics too. 6'1", 200 pounds.
Yeah,
that's good.
So
I'd take that. Okay,
good work.
Yep, we'll see. The last one I have is I feel like the Avs go after guys, not necessarily like in the twilight of their careers, but like they're on the downside of the peak, right?
Yeah.
Like I did it with like Jerome McGinley and kind of like that realm. Still has a lot to offer, but is no longer like your number one type of guy. And I feel like they're going to maybe look into that again with Vladimir Tarasenko being available.
Yeah.
I've always liked Tarasenko.
Yeah.
He just had, it was a scoring machine earlier in his career. But I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but he just seemed to, maybe not a scoring machine is the wrong way to say it, but came up with timely goals and timely scores and stuff like that. Was just always kind of like Arturi Lehkonen style. Like when you needed something big to happen, it was Tarasenko was there to do it.
Yep.
And I feel like he could be that guy that maybe get some more veteran presence on the team. Had a really good season last year.
He did for Minnesota.
Was he 75 games played, 47 points, 23 goals, 23 assists. What was his just about 15 minutes of ice time, so wasn't really overly exhausted on the ice. I don't know. It seemed just coming off of track record for the Avs. he seems like a guy at this stage in his career that they would go get to see if they can tap into something that maybe he had a few years ago, even though he had a good season. You can put him in different positions if you need to. He's comfortable and all. He's done it all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I think he could be maybe something to take a flyer on.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's a name
something
that I do like on this one too, especially because what Athletic has him at 1.339. So honestly, 1 year right about the $3 million range. If you can pull that off, I have no problem, I think, bringing Tarasenko in for that, especially if he gives you about what he did last season, then you feel really good about that.
Yeah.
He's also a big physical guy that's going to go win you some battles. And I mean, that's one thing that gets complained about with the Avalanche quite often is you need the playoff physicality, right? So this could be a step in that direction. I would enjoy that. I think I would like him on the Avs.
I think it would be a good fit. And again, not something that you would give him a 4 or 5 year deal. It could be, I don't think he's going to have a problem finding a suitor. So I don't think this is one of those things where you give him a 1 year deal and then he plays well and then goes somewhere else to sign a 3 or 4 year deal to end out his career. I think he probably wants to find maybe not a contract that ends his career, but something with a little bit of term.
Yeah.
Something like 2 to 4 years. I think he would do that. I don't know if the Avs would commit to 4 years with him.
That seems long.
I'd be okay with a 2 or 3. 2 I'd be fine with, just to see, and maybe give him a 2, and then after the first year, if you liked it, extend him for another year if you want to. So again, we'll see how it goes, but I love how we laid out 6 different players, and the Avs probably will sign none of them.
Yeah.
None of them, which is again why I love this stuff, because how they think, and they're the ones that are making the signings, are completely different than how everybody else thinks. See where it goes.
Yeah.
See where it goes. So I know people have comments about this because people always do when it comes to free agents. So who do you like? If you don't like any of these guys, I'm sure you're going to tell us. If there's other guys that you do like, fire away in the comment section, because I would. There's other. I mean, these are just 3 that I threw out, 3 that you threw out. That doesn't mean there's other guys that I don't like. So you very well could put somebody up in the chat or in the comment section that I will agree with you.
Yeah.
Who are they? Throw them out there. I want to know, because this thing's starting pretty soon.
Very soon.
Agency. So, all right. Let's get our last break in, and then we're going to talk about these the star players. 4 of them. Could they be on the move? We're going to do that next. All right. It started with Dylan Larkin, and it's been an express train since then with high-profile players either on the move, have been moved, or are talking to their team saying, like, I want to be moved.
Yep.
And the ones that we're going to kind of talk today, there's 4 that we're going to talk about. That is Larkin. We'll bring up Larkin again. Why not? Zach Werenski, which to me just came out of nowhere.
I was surprised at that one too.
Very surprised at that one. Obviously, Jason Robertson and Connor Hellebuyck.
Yep.
The Werenski one, he just won the Norris. And then you heard stories of like, oh, he has a conference with the brass at Columbus, and they're going to talk about the future. I didn't think much of it. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And now we're on the verge of him very possibly being traded, which is just kind of mind-blowing to me, because you have a guy like that, you hang on to him and you do everything you can to make the team around him better.
Oh, and yeah, I agree.
It's tough for Columbus. It's not really a destination location, but I think they've made some pretty good moves here recently to make their team better and competitive. And this one still kind of baffles me, but by all sounds of it, he could be on the way out. What do you think?
That one, just like you said, it absolutely shocked me because I feel like Columbus is kind of, I guess, teetering on going like that extra step, but I wonder if that's what he feels is they're always kind of like right there. Maybe they can take that step and get further and then don't. And that seems to kind of be where Columbus is at. I can see if you're a guy that is doing as well as he is, has the opportunity to maybe get onto a team that's a little bit more competitive. I can't totally fault it, but that was very shocking to me because I don't feel like you hear too often big names just being like, oh, well, I want out. Let me go somewhere else. Not in the NHL anyway.
Yeah.
You hear it in a couple of other sports for sure, but that took me by surprise.
Yeah. So, and we'll throw out predictions here on where not the trade that could be, just where he could end up. I'm not going to ask you, give me all the details. Give me the finer details of all this stuff. Just where you think he could go if he gets traded.
Oh, see, that's tough. Who could really use like a high-end defenseman and have like the cap space to take it? And the assets to trade, right? I wonder if San Jose would take a run at him.
That's who I wrote down. It's San Jose. Because for me, it's he's the type of guy. He's like a Mikko Rantanen. You trade him to the opposite coast.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to want to be in on him. I get it. If I'm Columbus, I trade him to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And if he comes back after this current deal is up, that's not their fault. But I think that's where they go with him. You hear Dallas is in on it. I'm throwing up as I'm saying this, but you hear Vegas is in on it. I have no idea how they continue to do that, but it wouldn't make sense to me for San Jose. And if they do that, if San Jose brings in Zach Werenski, remember so long ago when the Florida Panthers acquired Brady Tkachuk and they fired up the charts for favorites to win the Stanley Cup. San Jose could do that. I'm not saying rocket up to like first or second or anything like that. They would make them like
top 10 for sure.
I hate what San Jose is doing because they are going to be a problem. And
if they do
this, right now it's fun to watch.
Once they start beating us all the time, then it's not fun anymore.
It's going to stink. So they just seem to be a really active team right now. So they have the assets to do it. They have the money to keep him.
Yeah.
We'll see. So that's Werenski. Let's talk about Robertson because this is like one of those things we've seen coming a mile away and it very well could happen. What do you think? It's, and you heard all the stuff where there was a deal of him going to Seattle, but he nixed that.
Oh my gosh.
They just seem to be too far apart. I guess Dallas is in like the 12 million range. He's at the 15 million range. And it's not like they can just meet in the middle. Dallas doesn't have any wiggle room there. Like that's if anybody has to come down, it has to be the player. Because Dallas can't go. I think they could go up to 12.5. I think Elliot Friedman said that, but that's it. So, and Robertson his team seems pretty set on the 15 range, 14 to 15 range. Yep. I was thinking about this the other day, like comparing it to like the Mikko trade, just for Avs fans, just came out of nowhere. That like. I think everybody still thought he was going to get signed, and you didn't hear there's some like ruffling of Mikko could get traded, and it just happened.
Yeah.
For Dallas fans, this must be like, I was thinking of it, like this must be like that in Austin Powers when the steamroller is coming at that guy at like half a mile an hour, and he's just screaming at it like, no, he's like, it's in front of you, see it. And you can't do anything about it. And it's probably the end result is you getting steamrolled. You getting run over by the steamroller that you've seen coming for 2 weeks now. So it's got to be horrible. I'd rather go through what we went through with Mikko of just like, boom, it happened. Like we had no time to prepare for it than this. because every day it's got to be torture for Dallas Stars fans. But
it absolutely has to be.
Does he get moved? Do they figure out a way to sign him? What's your take on what you think's going to happen with Robertson?
I don't know how that's going to. So he has arbitration, right? Like this could go to arbitration for Robertson.
It could.
I just don't know how Dallas affords him in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think Dallas wants to go to arbitration because that's what you have to pay. Like you can't negotiate after that.
Yep.
So if it goes his 15 route, Dallas has screwed themselves.
Yep. So I don't know if they just not try to. They offer sheeted him today, right?
They did. That's just to keep his rights and to be able to negotiate with him further. But
that's what I'm saying. So they're not just going to let him walk,
right.
But so I got to figure they're trying to trade him right now. I just don't know what team has the assets that'll come back.
I know.
Do you?
And it's another guy on this list.
Ooh.
They could trade Larkin for Larkin.
Yep. Okay.
They could do that. They could send Robertson to Dallas. Dallas has more than enough cap space to sign him, keep him there. They inherit Larkin, cheaper number. You'd have to send something else to Dallas because you're trading a center to Detroit. Yeah. Because you're inheriting a center. So Detroit would be losing their center, gaining a wing. So I think you'd have to kind of figure there'll be a little bit more there. Maybe some prospect. That's I don't know. I don't want to get I said I wasn't going to get into what the deals would be. But those would be the main players. I think you could do that. I wonder if Dallas would. I think their center positions are pretty good though. Like where are they? Centers, I think they're okay.
For the Stars?
Yeah, I don't know if they've
Wyatt Johnston, Rope Hintz, Matt Duchesne, and I can't think of his first name, Foxa.
Radek Foxa. Okay.
Radek Foxa.
So you do, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of those guys out. Who knows?
Honestly, that could.
I mean, if you're getting Larkin, you would unload. Yeah. So possibility.
It is. I really thought that Chicago was going to take a run for Robertson when they made what trade did they just make? They moved some money out. Chicago.
Well, they made they brought Byram in. They got rid of God, I'm blanking. He played for Colorado.
Burakovsky.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought when they made that move that was a step towards going after Robertson. So I was wondering if that was going to happen. I don't know if they have the assets to give to Dallas to make it happen. And I can tell you, I don't think Dallas wants I don't think they want him staying in division.
That would be hilarious.
Hilarious. Brutal.
Yeah. Dallas fans have been ripping Avalanche fans ever since Mikko found his way back to the Central.
Yeah.
Not by the Avalanche choice, but if Dallas chose to keep Robertson in the Central, that'd be hilarious.
Yep.
Absolutely. The other possibility is him getting an offer sheet.
Yeah.
It's an expensive offer sheet, but you be in the highest tier of offer sheet where you'd have to give Dallas 4 first-round picks because you're going to offer sheet Robertson for more than $12 million.
Oh, yeah.
You are.
Have to.
So if he accepts that really holds the Stars' feet to the fire to try to match that, which if you give him 13, 14 million, they can't match that. They get 4 first-round draft picks in return for that.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. A team like Chicago could go do that. They have all the money in the world to go do that. Again, that is a possibility. So fascinating stuff when it comes to Robertson. Fascinating. I think they want to move him because I think they want to get some good assets, but they also, I think they would anybody would love getting 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Dallas is in the field of, players that can do something for us because we have Stanley Cup aspirations would be better.
100%.
You know what I mean? So we'll see where that goes. Finally, Connor Hellebuyck, another one that kind of just has gone down the road of like, this is something. This is maybe a minor story. And again, is ballooning up to, wow, this might actually happen. Another one where it was a trade was on I guess almost accepted between the Jets and Buffalo. And then Buffalo was the one to back out because they were just like, on second thought, we're giving up way too much.
Yeah.
And back to the drawing board they go. So I guess that could still be a possibility. But is Hellebuyck staying put, or do you think he actually moves to?
My gut says he ends up staying. I don't know why. He's had decent success outside of the postseason, but decent success with Winnipeg. So I would be very surprised if he went.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if I'm hearing this rumor and I am the Edmonton Oilers, I am doing everything humanly and paranormally possible to get that goaltender in my crease today. Because we've said it forever. If Edmonton would just have good goaltending, we don't even say excellent, we say good goaltending, they would be easily one of the most terrifying teams going into the Stanley Cup. Talk about your odds shooting up to the top of that list.
Oh God,
if they could find a way to get Hellebuyck in net, that could turn that around.
Yeah,
I don't know that it happens, and like I said, I don't know why. I have zero insight on this other than gut feeling. I think he stays in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I would think. I kind of thought that too about a week ago, and again, it just seems like these things have snowballed into.
Yeah, it's not going.
No, these are going to be reality moves, which is a change. Like normally, you hear like star players like exploring, maybe moving, and eventually they just stay put. They don't go.
Yeah.
It seems like we could get a lot of movement here. To me, if he doesn't go to Buffalo, I think there's only one other team, like how you're saying, like it doesn't really make sense for Edmonton to get him, but they should explore, turn over every single rock to do that. Because they've just been inheriting so many players this offseason. What's the best goalie on the planet? Florida Panthers. They have no goalie right now. I know they'll fix that and sign somebody. They got to have somebody in that. I think they're a team that will figure something out to put them in the best possible position to go get him, which is weird because they're getting every single player under the sun that will bash your face in. That team is going to be a nightmare to play against next year.
He didn't sign, but that AJ Greer swap, who did they pick up in for that? They sent out AJ Greer and they picked up Gudis. Yeah. That's exactly what their plan is. Their plan isn't to talent. Their plan is to beat you into submission this upcoming season. Like, good grief.
They don't care about goals because they're just going to pound you where you're just going to move out of the way and
let them score.
Give you empty netter. Just take the empty netter while the goalie's still on the ice. They're going to set records for hits and everything. It's going to be,
it feels like it. Yeah.
It's going to be terrible to play against them. But if you get a good goalie like that, we'll see.
I wasn't even thinking that. I don't like that thought.
No, I don't like it either. I don't want it to happen.
Between you and Elliot Friedman floating that Dallas could end up with Larkin and Werenski.
I don't know how that's possible.
He didn't even feel like it could really happen, but the fact that he spoke it into existence, I'm going to have nightmares.
How dare you? Oh, this is the best time of the year. So it's going to get started on Wednesday. So we'll talk more tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to give our Cale Makar predictions. So they got one Makar signed. We'll talk about that. Yep, we'll talk about that tomorrow, and then we'll get to Cale and what we think the deal is going to be, the length, the AAV. When is it going to get signed? The article came out today saying don't expect it to be July 1st. I still think it will be, but
better be July 1st.
No insight to that, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So make sure you're tuned into that one. We will do Valentin's grade, by the way. We haven't got to that yet too, because a lot's been happening in the league if you haven't noticed. So all right, that's going to be it. Thank you for tuning in, making this your first listen of the day. It's always appreciated. He's Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Maccelli. It's the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow. You made it through another 24 hours, and they're just going to get crazier as you get closer to next season's puck drop.